My teacher asked me what is the ninth letter of the alphabet. Teacher, can you use the letter I in a sentence? Student, okay. I is teacher interrupting, no. I is grammatically incorrect. You must always say I am. Student, okay. I am the ninth letter of the alphabet. But alphabet only has 8 letters. No, it's not what and never has been. It's B. Nice alphabet. Then the teacher asked me for the 25th and I said why. So then she insisted that I had to play along and give the 11th one. I said K. Merry Christmas. People shorten mayonnaise to mayo, but there is no shortened form of Worcestershire, which is way more laborious. They pronounce it Worcester, which is about as equally shortened as mayo. Ain't that the worst? We shorten it to Woo sauce. We call it wish you could say it's sauce. Salsa inglesa, like they say in Mexico. Bro has never heard of wash your sister sauce. Don't use it enough to shorten it. It's already a short form. You must speak its name in full to be worthy of its gifts. It would shorten to work pronounced worse. So yeah, nobody's going to do that. Work in a restaurant, we just call it LP. Now hit it with some W sauce, y'all. Except there is a short form, Worcester sauce. Till Hong Kong was attacked by Japan the same day as their attack on Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was actually part of a larger coordinated attack by the Japanese Empire on the Asian Pacific territories of the US and British empires. On the same day as the Pearl Harbor bombing, Japan attacked the US territories of Guam and the Philippines, and the British territories of Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaya, part of present-day Malaysia. It also invaded the independent nation of Thailand. They attacked across the Pacific, Singapore, the Philippines, Wake Island, etc. TIL Rosa Parks hired Johnny Cochran to sue Outkast, and Lafachi Records for Outkast's 1998 song Rosa Parks. I grew up loving this song, but understand how Rosa Parks could be offended by song. They eventually reached a settlement. It was a slap. Fun fact is that Rosa Parks wasn't exactly rich, even in her final years. She was forced to live in a bad neighborhood. Rosa wanted them to hush that fuss. She lived a lot longer than I thought. If the song don't rhyme, they won't do any time. TIL Rosa Parks died in 2005, which is crazy because I was born in 1985 and never knew she was alive in my lifetime. TIL William Thornton, a physician and a close friend of George Washington, failed to arrive early enough to treat him in 1799. Instead, he proposed a plan to reanimate his frozen corpse using blankets, a transfusion with sheep, ass blood, and a tracheostomy to pump his lungs with air. It was rejected. We could have had our first lich overlord in 1799, and they fucked it all up. Washington, 6'20", fucking killing for fun. George would have appreciated the effort, the sheep, not so much. Is a physician some sort of 18th century quack science career, like a phlebotomist or a phrenologist? They resurrected this idea to use on Mitch McConnell, and it's working. TIL that BBC News correspondent Jane Stanley mistakenly announced the collapse of Building 7 of World Trade Center live on air while it was still visibly standing behind her. The building did not collapse until 20 minutes later. It was also reported by the Reuters and CNN to mistakenly. Reputable news sources were reporting a number of rumors as facts that day. I was in the DC area, and the big rumor around those parts was that a car bomb had gone off at the Capitol. Obviously, that didn't happen, but it made the news all the same. That's why I am not particularly worried about the WTC7 thing, just another rumor reported as fact. Only this time it later happened to pan out. TIL that in 2014 the state of Alabama paid $75,000 for the right to use the phrase "Sweet Home" Alabama on road signs at the state line. That is a steal for a 5-year deal. For reference, the owner booker of a major wrestling promotion recently revealed he has paid the equivalent of a wrestler's contract to be able to use a major song for one night, for one entrance. Where the skies are so blue. That's fair. Worth it. What TV show stopped being great after only one season? Heroes. Once upon a time. Westworld, the first season was some of the best television ever, then they kind of ran out of ideas. Westworld liked a motherfucker. And what do they do in the first episode of season 2? Open up some robot's head and there's a box that contains the robot's entire mind. Completely portable and ready to just stick into another body. And by season 3, bodies don't matter at all anymore for either humans or robots. And it's complete generic cyberpunk. Wayward Pine's first season had me hooked and it completely fell off on season 2. I wouldn't say great, but Riverdale went from a guilty pleasure to being unwatchable. Altered Carbon. What are some things that regular people will likely never get to experience? Going to space. Hearing your own music on the radio. Ride an AF-15 doing the speed of sound. Constipation. A stranger coming to see you perform music and knowing the words to your song. I was going to say being violently compressed in a shady submarine, but that probably does happen occasionally. The ability to see sound as different colors. Those people who have that ability blow my mind, and I honestly don't understand how they can. Function. I feel like it would drive me insane. Getting to be on a super yacht. What is something that was billed as the next big thing and actually was not a complete failure? The internet. I remember when it was first starting out in the late 90s and nerds were saying it would change everything about the way we live and do business, etc. And I was like, yeah. But it turned out they were right. Amazon. It was clear fairly early on that it was going to be a huge disruption to bookstores. But it wasn't clear that it was going to disrupt all the stores. What is the closest you have ever come to dying? CH cocaine one night to the point where I actually thought I was going to die, and when I was born premature and the doctors told my parents that there was a chance I wasn't going to make it. Take your pick. It was really close. I had to color my Easter eggs this year, and during that process, I was just one letter away from dying. Sitting behind my friend while bike riding my bike from work and then torpedoed by a car. When she accidentally held my hand, almost fell off a mountain I should have waited for the summer for at least. Caught myself by my fingertips like some adventure movie. And it's the closest I've ever come to being cool. What's something that people turn into their whole personality? And I miss the days when it was a hobby people were ashamed to have. I want to say memes, but that just makes me sad about myself. Their job. My Texas high school had a British club. I'm actually a British citizen. So I tried to people were nuts. They made Doctor Who and Sherlock their whole personalities. Religion. Whining about other people's interests. Their FOV sports team. Sports. Living in New York. Hawaii. People make Hawaiian stereotypes their whole personality, which I think is doubly irritating. The tropical life, laugh, love.